Hi everyone, this is Ahmed Dini again. As I promised in my last video, I'm going to show you tonight how to generate a JHipster application from JDL file. What that means, we'll be using a JHipster's import JDL subgenerator and many other stuff basically. Some feedback I had from my last two videos, basically I have some previously recorded videos on YouTube, and there have been a lot of subscribers, and I had some feedback from them saying that could you basically the course or the tutorial that I'm doing now is designed for junior developers, so that I spend a lot of time explaining technologies and all that kind of stuff. So, but the videos have attracted the interest of some senior developers who also want to quickly watch the first part of the video and see some what's inside in a summary, basically, on maybe what could be done. So their feedback was to that I divide the video into each video into two parts. Normally, what we call a sports mode part, which is the first part where I go very fast and show an approach called example first, and then after that, when I complete that, then go into more explanation for the junior developers. So I'm going to take that approach and test it. Basically, you'll feedback if you like it or if you don't like it, basically. So let's go. What we're going to follow is this list, so that I don't lose sight of where I am. So we're going to start from the beginning, which is normally, and the reason why this is TMax is a tool, a Linux tool that would allow you to split your screen into many sections. I normally on my desktop I use about 4 or 5 screens, and I divide my. But when I'm recording this video, I record on my Mac, and it's the terminal view is limited, and sometimes I don't like switching between terminals. So I'm going to show you how to use TeamMax. So you just type TeamMax. You can download it. It's already installed on my laptop. So just type TeamMax on there, and it's mainly keyboard configured. So on my laptop, it's configured as Control A, and if I do, for example, percentage, after that shift percentage, it will give me split screens. I can even further split it if I want. For example, Control A and then shift and then double quotes basically, and that closes it. If I want to delete the one of them, I'm just going to say Control A and then X, and then it asks me at the bottom that do you want to kill the pane? Yeah, I want to kill it. Yeah, and then I type, and then I go back to my normal pro. So if you want to shift between them, you just do Control A and then left, and then, or maybe if you want to go back to the right, you do that. So what we're going to do basically tonight, I'm going to create the application from scratch. So I have previously shown you how to generate JHipster application from the command line directly at entering things, but I've already prepared up everything into JDL. I'll show you. We'll copy those files and let's go. First create, I'm gonna go into a directory called the JDL, which I've previously created. And then in here, I have some files that we're going to copy. So let's quickly create a new directory for us called luulpos. And this is the application we're going to develop. And let's change into it. So cd luulpos. So what I need to do is I need to copy 3 files from the parent directory. So if I do copy, I know what the names of the files are. One of them is called application, and another one is called full, and this is SQL dump of the application I've previously generated, so we don't have to wait until we enter a lot of information. So, and the other one is called lul point of, and then I need to copy it here. So if we do ls, let's clear. I hate having a lot of text on my screen. So those 3 files have been copied, and what I'm going to show you is I'm going to open the luulpos file in here, with Vim. So actually no, the one I want to open, the luulpos one, what we have, the JDL file, the luulpos JDL file, what we have in there is the business logic of the application, the entities that are specific to the point of sale that we're developing. But the application one has the input that we've previously generated from using the last application, which we're not using that anymore. So we'll hopefully work from on this application. So all the commands that I have created with the last application are in here. And if you want to see where I got this information from, you could go to JHipster's page, and there is a module called JHipster Co. If you just follow that path, then you will get to this file, and this is the options file, which will tell us all the options that we have in here. For example, application type, we have these options to choose from: a monolithic, microservice, and also authentication type. We have all these to choose from: JWT, and base name of the application, and the normal stuff that we normally see when we're generating an application with JHipster. Is a lot, like the package name is in there, so many stuff. So it's not, you can have a look at it, it's nothing magic basically, but the guys have done a great job just making sure that this also a JHipster application can be generated from line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. So the port and everything you can just go by yourself, and the language that we're going to support with English and Arabic. It uses SAS by default. We have search engine here, Elasticsearch we'll be using. Our port is 8080. What else I could show you? The database wise, we're going to use SQL based databases, and our production database is going to be our MySQL. Our development database is going to be MySQL as well. And well, translation needs to be build tool as well is very important. So we're going to select Maven rather than, so in the options you'll see all the options that you can choose. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining this because I need to record a lot of stuff basically in this. So just let's close down. We haven't changed anything, so I just clear it. So let's go to JHipster. Let's do that, JHipster, and then import JDL is the sub generator, and then we'll say we want to sub generate the application. It's going through the normal generations that it would go if the, actually let me make this screen bigger. We're still in TMax, so to make this screen bigger you do Control B and Z. Control A. And my work laptop computer is configured Control B, and my laptop is configured Control A, so I always mix them up. So Control A and Z will give us the full screen. If you want to do the same, then it will go back to the normal screen. I'm not sure when I'm going to use that, but because of I'll not be working on the command line a lot tonight, so let's see. It's generating. So what I'm going to do is, while we're doing this, so that, like I said before, so I don't lose sight of where I am, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight yellow every part I complete, every item in the list that we do. So we've done that one, we know that. Let's just it's not full covered, but you can have a look at it. The other thing we're already doing is this one. We're generating the JDL file, so let me highlight that yellow as well. And the next thing is we have to delete the .git file from the generated application, because my computer has Git installed, and if you have, because I've created the folder of the same folder with the same name previously, it will remember the settings of that, so we don't want it to remember. So our application has successfully been created, as you can see in there. Normal beautiful JHipster says that. Okay, So let's do what it has generated, and I need to remove the actually I didn't use SUD, right? Yeah, I haven't. It's good. So let's remove the file called git, or was it? Yeah. So rf.git folder is gone. So that's done. Next thing is it's going to be boring to go, but it's very good actually. It's guided instruction. So, and it says that's done. So let's highlight that one yellow as well. Next thing is importing luulpos application that we've just generated to Eclipse, and I'm gonna show you how to make Eclipse show the hidden files as well. So as we import, so I don't have it open, I need to open it. Eclipse, we need a new workspace, so I'm going to say I've previously used that one, so I don't want it to remember any configuration, so it has to look like it's for everything's fresh basically. So while I'm on that, let me just, what you need to do is, I'm gonna also mention this later, what we need to install, your Eclipse has to be configured in a way that, this code mix is headache, in a way that it works with your JHipster application, but there is a JHipster application that you can download from, not application but plugin for Eclipse that you can download from Eclipse Market that will give you a lot of stuff that I'll discuss later. So let's import this project that we've just created into Eclipse, and it's a Maven project. Obviously it's an existing Maven project, let's say, and then I'm going to browse to the JDL folder that was under my JDL there, and it's that application that we have generated right now. Sorry, my laptop's overheating. Okay, so it's importing. While it's importing, let me just quickly go back and check what we have to do next quickly, so that we don't spend a lot of time. So we've done that, we imported. Let's highlight it. This is another thing that will slow me down, but still, it makes me go. So the next thing is we need to generate the business logic as well. But before I do that, as in here, I said that I need to show the hidden files in Eclipse. If I open right now, you won't see all the files that start with dot something dot. But there is when we're working with these, we need a lot of these files to be shown here. So if you go to, if I've done it quickly, so there is a little arrow pointing at there, context arrow. So you just click that, and then you go to filters and customization, and then because we have resources ticked in there, if I just untick it and then say at the bottom it says hide resources that start with dot, so we don't want them to be hidden. And as you can see, all the files that started with dot are here. One important one, which is the Yeoman RC file, which is a JHipster file. Especially this file is very important, especially if you want the JHipster guys to help you with a problem you're having. As part of their guidelines is to include these settings that you have in here, so that they know what you have created, what you could have, what applications, and it's just a descriptor of the options that we have selected when we were generating our application, plus some more what the application, the configurations of the application. So our Java application doesn't use it, but JHipster uses its the generator uses a lot of stuff for it. So the next thing I need to do is our application. Actually, I mean, not just jump. Let me just go here and say I've done that. Yeah. So the next thing is I need to generate the business logic. application. So our application currently is the generic application. It doesn't have anything specific, so specific to business logic. So the Java files are here, the normal files, as you can see. Services are there, just the normal thing, that the default thing that comes with the application. So let's go back to the command line and generate the second file. So let's quickly go back to that and do lul. Actually, before I generate, because it's put in here, I'd like to explain to you a little bit about the about this file, and it's in here. Because I've already installed the JHipster plugin, it will recognize it and even color code it for me and all that kind of stuff. So it's very nice. So this is a very, very large, very long, basically file with a lot of entities, and as you can imagine, it's a complete point of sale system. And as you can see in here, there's so many files, and with this, what this JDL file is, actually, I'm going to explain it later more, but for those of you who knows, this is the business, this is where we specify our business, and then all these entities and their relationships and enums will be generated, and then for the front end, for the back end, for the database, everything. And if we want to date the DTOs in here, then you can send the back pagination of the screen of the front end services that we don't want just controllers and repositories. We want also middle layer of Java, Spring Boot services, so they will be created for us. So when the request comes, it comes to the controller, it goes to the service, and then the service has access directly to the repository. Search here is for what we need for the Elasticsearch. All these entities would have will be created in the Elasticsearch, and you can search it using the search API of each entity. The filters are very important. I'd like to spend more time talking about this, and they will add a lot of code to here. And this is for example, to be able to they will help us find, make API calls other than the normal CRUD, and find APIs. So you can I think I have it here. They are based on the JPA static Metamodel, and I'll show you they're very, very advanced. They have basically where you can call, you can read what they do in here more. You can see the URL in here. So I'm going to show you examples of how they need to be done. So I need to move fast, basically, definitely. I'll explain them later more. So that is the lul file, which another thing I'd like to show you in here, which actually in the points it'll come later, but while I'm at it, let me quickly show you. So what we could also see is entity diagram of these entities that we've created and their relationships, and also the enums and all that kind of stuff. So if you go to because I've already installed the JHipster plugin, and there is plant UML integration that comes with it. So if you go to view, show view, and you go to other, I'll show you something that hopefully some of you, if you haven't seen, would love to see. And then we go to plant UML. I need to find where it is. There. And then it will show us an entity diagram of all the entities that we have designed, and in here it will come, and these are everything that's auto-generated, so you don't have to draw entity diagrams yourself. And that's the beauty of JHipster, everything is automated. So this is the diagrams of the entities. For example, for the first one is the orders and order lines and order items and all that kind of stuff, and it's very wide. It's a very busy diagram, as you can see, of the shop, and it is entities, tax, discount, and all that kind of stuff. So there's so much in there, and that's it for this entity diagram for you guys. You can just repeat what I did if you want to see. So let's just go down and go back to where we were. So let's generate this luulpos JDL, and this is the business logic I said many times. As I said many times. So let's just run it. Okay, because we have previously generated some of the entities, so for some of them it will overwrite. For example, if it needs to write, but everywhere where you see create means it's freshly created, and otherwise it would say force update or something like that. So these are very so while it's generating that, let's quickly mark this. Also, actually I've done two things together, very nice. So filters and JPA static model, I've just shown you, but I'm gonna talk about them more. I've even done the Eclipse plugin. So let's highlight those three together at the same time. So JHipster has generated those for us.